All right, today we're diving into something really cool, the smallest letter in the Hebrew alphabet, the yod. Now, you might think it's just a tiny dot, right? But according to a fascinating analysis from a source we'll call Uncle John, this little speck might just be the most powerful letter of them all.
I mean, think about it for a second. What if the smallest, most insignificant-looking mark in an entire alphabet was actually the most important one? It's a wild idea, right? So let's see if it's true. Let's decode the letter yod together.
Okay, so first things first. Let's meet this smallest giant. Yod is the 10th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. And right off the bat, it hits you with this incredible paradox.
So on one hand, you look at it and visually it's the tiniest character there is. I mean, it's often just a floating dot. But then you look at the text of the Torah, and here's the kicker, it's the most frequently used letter of all. This tiny little mark is absolutely everywhere.
So just how frequent are we talking? Well, Uncle John's analysis dug into the numbers, and it's staggering. The letter Yod appears 31,522 times. 31,000. It's not just in the text, it's practically woven into the very fabric of it.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting. The yod's importance isn't just about its size or how often it shows up. According to Uncle John, the letter's ancient pictograph, what it originally looked like, is a hand. And believe me, that one symbol unlocks a whole new layer of meaning.
And the connections here, they're just so elegant, you know? The ancient picture is a hand. Then you look at gematria, which is a system where letters have numerical values. And what's the yod? It's 10. And get this, the Hebrew word for hand is yod. Sounds almost identical, right? And of course, how many fingers do we have? 10. It all just clicks together perfectly.
So where do we actually see this hand symbolism at play? Well, Uncle John points us to a really powerful example, right in the book of Genesis, in the story of creation.
Okay, this is absolutely brilliant. The Hebrew word for formed, which is vayitzer, is actually spelled differently depending on who or what is being created. So when God forms man, the word has 2 yods, but when he forms the animals, it only has 1. And Uncle John's interpretation of this, it suggests a special, deliberate, two-handed creation just for humanity. It's like a divine signature hidden in the spelling.
And the symbolism of the yod just keeps expanding. We've gone from a dot to a hand, and now we're going from the hand of the Creator to the very act of creation itself. Uncle John actually connects this tiny dot to the origin of the entire universe. And this is where things get a little cosmic, maybe even a bit mind-bending. Conceptually, the yod is a zero-dimensional point. It's seen as the singularity, that initial seed from which all of reality just expands. It's like a spiritual Big Bang, all contained in this one little dot. Incredibly, even the spelling of the letter's name in Hebrew, which is Yod, Vav, Dalet, is seen as a kind of roadmap for creation. You start with the Yod, the point. That point then extends into a Vav, which is a line, and that line then expands to form a Dalet, a plane. It's literally creation unfolding from a single speck, right there in the spelling of its own name.
So, we've talked about all this deep symbolism, but the yod also has some serious practical power in the Hebrew language. I mean, where you place this tiny dot in a word can completely change its meaning. It's a real game changer.
Okay, check this out. The Hebrew root for the word laugh is sahak. Simple enough. But if you place a yod at the beginning of that word, it becomes yitzchak. And what does that mean? He will laugh. That single dot literally projects the action into the future. And yep, if that name sounds familiar, this is the Hebrew name for Isaac.
All right, so that's what happens when you put it at the beginning. What about the end of a word? Well, the Hebrew word for God is El. Add a yod to the end and it becomes Eli, my God. The yod makes it possessive. It claims ownership. Uncle John even compares this to a closed fist, that physical gesture for saying, this is mine.
Now, this little letter's influence is so profound, so massive, that it's even made its way into the English language in a phrase you've definitely heard before. This really cements its importance, taking it way beyond its original language.
You've probably heard this verse from Matthew. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. It's a really famous line about the permanence of God's law. But the key word for us here is jot. What exactly is a jot?
Well, it turns out the word jot isn't random at all. It is a direct linguistic descendant of yod. You see, it came into English from the Greek letter iota, which itself was derived directly from, you guessed it, the Hebrew letter yod.
So think about what that means. The implication is just unmistakable. When the verse says that not even the smallest jot will pass away, it's talking directly about the yod. The tiniest, most fundamental speck of the divine word is being held up as the ultimate measure of permanence. Its smallness is its strength.
So, there you have it. From a single dot to the Creator's hand. From grammar to the cosmos itself. The Yod Solaris shows us just how much incredible meaning can be packed into the smallest of symbols. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other secrets are hiding in plain sight in the very building blocks of ancient languages, just waiting for us to find them?